Thanks for checking out this episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis, your movie trivia and discussion podcast. Please like us at facebook.com/screenfacts. You can also email us, screenfacts@yahoo.com. Tweet me at Jason Davis Voice. For details on how to access past episodes, please visit jasondavisvoice.com/podcast. Well, joining me for this episode of the show, my good pal, Erik Reitz.
Woo!
Great to have you again.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
So, Erik, we're going to revisit a movie from the 1990s.
And one of my favorite guys, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, me too. I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah. We've already done Ace Ventura.
That's right. And so today, Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. A classic.
Released December 16th, 1994. I didn't realize this was like a Christmas movie. I mean, it's not a Christmas movie in theme. It just came out around Christmas time. It just seems like something that would have come out more in the summertime. Of course, Jim Carrey is the star, Jeff Daniels and Lauren Holly.
Lauren Holly. Although she looked so good in this movie.
I can't remember if he and she hooked up on this flick or if it was like, okay.
They actually
he's
did get married.
He's kind of notorious for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was, I think, only his second marriage.
Yeah, but he seems to have a showmance with every co-star that he's with. Like he hooked up with Renee Zellweger during Me, Myself, and Irene.
Right.
Lauren Holly in this.
For less than a year, they were married.
Yeah. So Dumb and Dumber, directed by Peter and Bobby Farrelly. And this was actually their feature film debut.
Oh.
They said years later that the main reason that they got the gig was because Jim Carrey had a lot of success with his breakthrough film Ace Ventura, which we talked about on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And that was directed by a first-time director, Tom Shadyac. And so he had a positive first meeting with the Farrellys, and he thought, hey, maybe lightning will strike twice.
Yeah.
Let me hire these guys. That's what he was hoping for.
Well, I think Jim Carrey's also a little bit superstitious.
Okay.
Not crazy superstitious. I just saw him years ago when he was on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and they were talking about superstitions and how a lot of comedians have superstitions.
Yeah.
And he said that really his thing was he would like whistle before going out on stage.
Okay.
And he told this really funny story. He's behind stage with another comedian, and he's walking around whistling, and the comedian says, "Stop doing that. You're screwing up my vibe. You know, this is bad luck. This is bad luck." And he's going on and on. So Jim's thinking, well, you know, if he's that superstitious, he went off and he got an umbrella and he opened the umbrella backstage and he's walking around. The guy's like, no, put the umbrella down. You don't open an umbrella indoors. What are you, insane? You don't do that. Well, Jim went off, hit the stage, killed that night. So he did. It was one of his best nights ever. And he came back and that comedian was standing there with the umbrella.
Oh, that's funny. So he changed his point of view.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Now, the Farrelly brothers, you know, afterwards they did like Kingpin, something about Mary. So
they've had a lot of successful movies. They did Me, Myself, and Irene, Stuck on You, The Ringer.
But the first script they wrote, you know, years before Dumb and Dumber, was something called Dust to Dust.
Okay.
And it was a story about two idiot friends working at a funeral parlor. They used that and they actually got their foot in the door in Hollywood. And they even sold the script, but it was never made into a movie.
Okay.
And then years later, they came up with, well, let's try the two idiot thing again. And they came up with Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, and they co-wrote this movie with a guy named Bennett Yellen. Estimated budget of $17 million, domestic gross $127.1 million, worldwide $247.2 million. And it still took them 20 years to do a legitimate sequel to this. And I'm not counting that When Harry Met Lloyd shit that they released with other actors.
Yeah.
I never even saw that. No, thank you.
You know, I read some reviews, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it, I think, like a 30-some%. Of course, I mean, they only gave Dumb and Dumber, I think, like 66%.
For me, it's not even what critics think. The idea, it was clearly a cash grab.
No doubt.
And for me, why do I want to see a movie that's clearly just trying to make money without the same actors, without the same directors?
Right.
It just feels
it kind of makes you feel like, all right, they couldn't get the two originals in time for us to make this a money grab. So let's just repackage it with some other unknown guys. And see what happens. Yeah. No. I
the
totally
Farrelly
agree.
brothers even said they had no desire to make a sequel to this with other actors because I think they were approached. But like if they weren't going to do it with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, they were thank you.
Yeah.
So. Dumb and Dumber was one of 3 Jim Carrey movies that made the top 20 domestic grossing movies of 1994. That's really
insane.
That's spectacular. It's amazing. It's the highest up on the list at number 6. The other 2 movies that were on the list, The Mask at number 9 and Ace Ventura at number 16, the 3 movies made Jim Carrey the first actor to have 3 movies go straight to #1 in the same year. And also, it's the second highest grossing PG-13 movie of 1994, Dumb and Dumber, behind Forrest Gump.
Oh, my God.
And that's only because Forrest Gump was Forrest Gump. I mean, it was like a juggernaut.
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny.
My buttocks, Jenny.
Yeah, but so this movie was pretty successful and definitely was the snowball of Jim Carrey becoming a huge star.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting how they came about with the casting and the salaries and everything. Did you hear about all this stuff?
A little bit.
So it's actually kind of an interesting story. So Jim Carrey ended up earning $7 million for this movie,
which was almost half the budget.
Right, and that wasn't what he was originally offered.
Okay.
Jeff Daniels, who shares top billing, made $50,000.
Oh, that's just not right.
It's not. Well, here's what happened.
Okay.
So Jim Carrey wasn't really a movie star. I mean, he had some success on In Living Color,
which you would think would have already made him worth like $250,000 anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I think that making the leap from TV to movies is not necessarily a slam dunk.
Okay.
People have done it, but for everyone that's a success, there's probably 5 or 10 more that aren't. And I off the top of my head, I can't come up with examples, but there's definitely been a lot of people, for example, that have been very successful on Saturday Night Live that haven't necessarily,
they didn't made
that jump to the big screen with as much success.
No, that's true.
So originally, they offered Jim Carrey $350,000 to do this movie.
Oh, all right, not a bad guess.
No, not bad, but not nearly $7 million. So he passed on that.
I guess not.
He passed on that. Then, according to the Farrelly brothers, he wanted like $400,000. So $350,000. He wanted $400,000 at that time. So then Ace Ventura comes out, becomes this huge success.
Oh, okay.
And the studio goes, okay, we'll give you the $400,000.
And Jim's like,
nah. No, I want $500,000.
$500,000. Oh, all right.
So then they're going back and forth, and by the time they finished negotiations, Ace Ventura spent a lot of weeks at #1 and made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, $7 million is his paycheck for this movie.
Jeez. And meanwhile, Jeff Daniels.
As far as Jeff Daniels goes, the studio didn't want him in this movie.
Right. Okay.
They wanted a comedian. They wanted another, funny guy. They said, please, anybody but Jeff Daniels. Bobby Farrelly wanted Daniels because he liked him in Something Wild.
Right, yeah.
So they offered him $50,000 thinking, oh, he'll never take this.
The studio did.
Well, yeah. Well, whoever.
Because the studio's kind of, all right, since they're called on him, they're trying to lowball him.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Bastards.
So then he accepts the offer right away, no negotiation.
Really?
And now they have him.
See,
so now they're not stuck with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Because first off, his agent's like, well, this is going to kill your career.
Okay.
P.S. This is still one of his most successful movies ever.
Right.
Jeff Daniels.
Well, and just the year before, he did an awesome movie called Gettysburg.
Okay.
Which, unless you're a Boy Scout or a Civil War reenactor, you probably don't know anything about it.
He's been in a lot of successful stuff. He was in Speed with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
So he's definitely had his share of success. But this movie, in terms of box office, is one of the most successful.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
But that's what kills me when you say he's only making $50,000 and he jumped at it because, I mean, going back to like 1981, he was making some great stuff.
My guess is that he read the script. He read the script.
Yeah.
He said, this is really funny. I want to do this movie. Yeah. Working with Jim Carrey sounds like it might be a good time.
Sure.
So maybe he just was like, oh, I'll do it.
Okay.
Maybe he didn't have anything going on at that time.
Right.
I mean, $50,000 is nothing in Hollywood, but maybe he didn't care. Maybe he just thought, oh, it'll be just a little movie that I do. Keep me busy for whatever it is, a month or
maybe
two.
he didn't even really need all the money
exactly.
that much.
So, according to Daniels, none of the scenes that he and Jim Carrey are in together were filmed during the first week of production because the studio was actually ready to replace him.
Really?
They had a comedian on standby waiting to take over.
Yeah.
Then they started looking at the dailies of him and Jim Carrey together, and they're like, you know what? This looks like it's working pretty well. And Jim Carrey really wanted him, too, because he wanted a real actor. He wanted like somebody that wasn't a comedian to kind of keep him grounded a little bit.
Sure, okay.
And I think that the chemistry is unmistakable. I mean, it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, Jeff Daniels is just as funny, if not funnier, than Jim Carrey in this movie.
Well, you know
times.
what? I agree. But there is a difference because, Jim Carrey is being Jim Carrey. I mean, he's taken that character Lloyd and he's going over the top.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing an Ace Ventura thing. He's making the crazy faces, the crazy sounds,
the thing with his
and all
tooth
that.
where he
right.
He removed, like he had, that's
he actually
really
has
his
a chipped tooth.
Yeah. He
Because I'm watching the movie, I'm like, that's not a black thing
No.
covering that. I'm like, did they CGI? No, they
No.
didn't CGI that.
No,
What the
he
heck
he
is
had
that?
an injury or whatever. Or he had a chipped tooth from years earlier,
Right.
and he had the cap taken off just for the role because he
That's
thought
so
it would make him
funny.
look more deranged and funnier.
Oh, well, it does.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's really being a character.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Whereas Jeff Daniels, yes, he's funny. He's making he's making some goofy, funny faces and all.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually kind of a very realistic person. Just off
Just
the
really
edge,
dumb.
just off the edge a little bit. Yeah. So it's apples and oranges to me.
Yeah.
But yes, I still think he was hilarious. I thought they gave him some great lines. I love when he said once we made it a bulldog and a Shih Tzu. We called it a bullshit.
The laughiness.
It was great.
Yeah, I mean, but there's other stuff too, like when he and Lauren Holly are on the the excursion.
Oh, when they're having their day.
Yeah, and they're making the snowman, and she gives him the
carrot
and the coal,
coal.
and he makes a dick and balls.
Oh, that was great. Kathy and I were watching this together. All right, and in the first 10 minutes, she's like, "I don't think I'm gonna last."
Oh, come
and so
on!
She got up and left, and then she came back. I'm like, "Sweetie, it gets really funny." Because
great. I
at the
love this movie.
beginning, it's a lot of just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey,
Right.
where she's like, "eh." What I love, I mean, the first scene when he just
When he
pulls
pulls
up
over
in
the
the
limo.
limo to that hot chick at the bus stop, and he's hitting on her.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey.
New Jersey, Austria.
Oh, in that case, good day, mate.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. Yeah, Kathy was like, I was like, come on, that's funny.
It's great.
And then it got better, and then the heart, and then it becomes a sweet movie and all that. And,
Yeah.
But then she did come back to that scene with the snowman and the carrots, and she was like, all right, yeah, that's pretty funny. I'll sit and watch the rest.
It's not that vulgar or gross.
No, not at
I know
all.
she doesn't go for like gross out humor.
Right.
You and I could probably tolerate that a lot more than she can.
Right.
But this isn't really. I mean, there's
she saw
a couple
that
moments.
She
but
actually thought that was funny and kind of charming.
Did she miss the scene with the toilet?
Yes, I was yelling it because I was laughing like hysterically.
It's the greatest.
Because not too long ago, I had to flush myself clean
For the colonoscopy.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I felt,
Yes.
and that's how I sounded.
Yes.
And Jeff Daniels,
I've
man,
been there.
dude, he just played that great.
awesome.
His faces. I'm glad it was him because I think if it was Jim Carrey, it may have been over the top,
Too cartoonish
Yeah,
almost.
too cartoonish. Whereas with Jeff Daniels, you're like, oh, you're feeling it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he really looks distressed.
He
you know?
actually calls that like his Oscar clip.
Well, and you know what? Clint Eastwood
Mm-hmm.
actually approached him at like some golf benefit or something and told him a story that he had a date
Oh no.
and apparently he had eaten some like bad fish or shellfish
no.
earlier in the day. And when he got to the lady's house, he had to use the bathroom. And after he did his business, he couldn't flush the toilet.
Oh no.
Can you imagine? You're Clint Eastwood?
No.
Ugh. Now, there was a scene that we didn't see in America.
Okay.
I read a blog that some guy, I don't know, in the Netherlands or whatever, he was asking that in that scene, Jeff ends up pulling the toilet off the floor
So
and dumps it out the window.
So, I'm glad you brought that up because in the extras on the Blu-ray, and I don't know if it's on the DVD too.
Yeah.
There's a whole like section just about that scene. It's a quick, maybe 5-minute little thing.
Yeah.
And they talk about he talks about how they were filming that scene. We see like 40 seconds or whatever in the movie of him shitting his brains out.
Right.
But I mean, they really went for it. I mean, they got a lot of footage just so they would have a lot of choices, his faces and everything else.
Right.
And then they showed him lifting because he's trying to get rid of the evidence.
That was all.
But yeah,
I would have liked to have seen that, but I can
I
understand
think
it being
again,
cut.
it's a pacing thing, probably.
Yeah, and I can understand. Yeah, I guess it would be cut because there might be too many people like, you can't really pull the toilet off the floor like that. And then,
Right.
I mean,
Right. Yeah. But this movie is called Dumb and Dumber, so let's not get too crazy about
exactly.
reality here.
I'd be fine with it. So did we talk about some of the people who passed on being in this movie? Because there's some big names.
Yeah, I actually read a couple of names. And I don't know if we have the same information, but Nicolas Cage and Gary Oldman were the original choices. Can you imagine that? That would have been terrible.
No, Nicolas Cage, no way.
I mean,
not at all.
he's an okay actor.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman's a great actor, but I mean, in this movie,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Gary Oldman, he's a fantastic dramatic actor. You know, I've seen him do a Dracula that'll just make your
he's good. He's really good in the Batman movies.
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan's Batman
so
movies.
a really good actor probably can do comedy, but I don't know, like with that physicality.
Lloyd is Jim Carrey's character, and who else could be that great and over the top? And
yeah,
you know,
maybe some other names I saw was Martin Short. I like Martin Short, but I think he's got his own kind of world.
Yeah, and I think you got to also consider the star power too. And this is not a knock on Martin Short. I think he's awesome. He's really
I like
funny.
him a lot, yeah.
But in 1994, is he a big enough star to carry this movie?
Right. Well, somebody who could have, Steve Martin.
He also passed. Right?
He passed on it.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe has actually surprised me in other things.
Oh, yeah.
As far as his comedy chops. So he might have been really good,
too.
too.
In Parks and Recreation, he was brilliant.
And I think the other thing, too, with Rob Lowe is that he's such a good-looking dude that to have him in a movie where, it's not about vanity at all would have been very interesting.
I think if you take him with his perfect chiseled face and you give him a bowl cut and you snap a tooth apart, he might have been able to pull it off.
Yeah,
you maybe needed to throw some freckles on him, but
you don't
still.
know that was like the way the character was originally conceived. That could be all Jim Carrey. The tooth is definitely Jim Carrey.
Right.
And we don't know if the bowl cut was his idea, too.
Well, and the way Jim Carrey is with his characters. We talked about in Ace Ventura, how the way he built the character and the way he built, he's an artist, and he really thinks about it. So I'm convinced that it was probably all him.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And it's funny, we're talking about, how he builds the character. I mean, like he's Daniel Day-Lewis, but the reality is
comedy is hard too.
I think it's harder.
Just talk to Mel Brooks. Comedy's not. I remember there was.
But I'm saying, it's real easy to overlook how great he is and how great Jeff Daniels is in this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's fluffy. You know what I mean? It's not like
it's lighthearted and sweet.
Yeah,
and
but they're
that.
really good. You know?
Yeah, they are really good.
The moment in the movie where they decide to go to Aspen, where he's kind of staring out the window and he's like, I'm tired of just eking by and, being lonely and not having anything. And that's like a real sort of emotional moment in a very funny movie,
Yeah. No, it was definitely, he's tired of being lonely.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Our pets' heads are falling off. I love that.
That's great.
There's a lot of cool stuff in this movie.
There's a lot of silly.
So when they
nice hooters.
Oh, the birds. That's the thing about this movie. This movie is very similar to like an Airplane or a Naked Gun, where there's a lot of like that sort of wordplay and sight gags, and there's stuff that you can look for. So I love the scene in the diner. First off, they call her Flo.
Yeah, right.
I mean, her name's Gwen or something. It's
right.
But
and just their face.
Yeah, and they think it's the funniest thing ever, right?
It's like,
what's the soup du jour? The soup of the day. That sounds great. But then the whole thing when he throws the salt over his shoulder.
Yeah, because
and then it hits sea bass.
Right, this big dude.
Yeah,
you know who he is?
Cam Neely.
Yeah,
who's a hockey player.
Boston Bruin.
Yeah, he plays sea bass in Me, Myself, and Irene too. He's one of the troopers. He doesn't really have a big role. It's like they maybe I think literally. Jim Carrey walks by him and goes, "Hey, Seabass," or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a trooper.
All right.
But he's a good guy in that.
That guy's a trooper.
Yeah, no, I mean he's really a trooper. And then the whole scene with where he shows up in the stall later on.
Oh yes, 2:15.
Yeah.
If you want some man love, and be here at 2:15 on this date, and Lloyd's in the stall. He's looking at his watch. It's like, crud, it's 2:15.
So there's a couple of things about that stall scene too that I read that I think are kind of funny. So. Yeah. And these are things you can look for when you're watching the movie. So there's a lot of writing on the wall in the gas station.
Yeah.
So a couple of things to look for. Why are you looking up here when the joke is in your hand?
Yeah.
Bye-bye, William Frawley. NAMBLA rules. And why the hell is everyone so goddamn angry? Those are some of the things on the wall.
Oh, jeez.
So when Lloyd is in the stall and he looks at his watch,
right.
The close-up of his watch shows that it's a Casino brand watch.
Not Casio.
Right. And Casio is like a really inexpensive watch. So he has a knockoff of an inexpensive watch. So that's a joke I've missed every time I've watched this movie.
That's great.
Which I think is very funny.
So do you realize Lauren Holly, she's playing Mary Swanson.
Right.
You realize that if somehow she ended up marrying Lloyd, what's Lloyd's last name?
Christmas.
Her new name would be Merry Christmas. I really liked Jeff Daniels Shagmobile.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 1984 Ford Econoline.
Okay, like van.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought it was very funny how the way that when he went to fill it up with gas, he had to lift the dog's back leg.
Right.
And then later on, when he's like hitting on that one ski chick who ends up being
The
like, the
FBI.
FBI agent, he's
Yeah.
spilling the gas, and all this gas is trickling out. It looks like a giant dog
Taking a
pee.
leak. Yeah. I like what he says when he first meets her. He's like, "Those your skis?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
Both
of them?
of them? Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
One other thing I wanted to mention that you can look for when you watch the movie that's funny, that I've missed every other time I've watched this movie, believe it or
Okay.
not.
All right.
When Harry and Lloyd are trying to escape from Mental and Shay,
Yeah.
you know, the gas man thing.
Right.
They climb out the window, they're running to the van.
Right.
There's a guy standing there peeing on the wall.
Really?
Yeah. It's clear as day. He's just standing there peeing on the wall. It's
man.
hilarious.
Is it? All right.
I just
but
never
his
saw it
back
before.
is to us, right?
Yeah, his back is to it, but he's very clearly peeing on the wall. I totally missed it every other time I watched this
I
movie.
wonder if that was planted or if they just like missed that and
I
just,
don't-
like well, whatever.
It seems like it would be
We're not
kind of a
gonna go
random
back.
thing to not have planned, but who knows?
Yeah. Wow.
You gotta love everything in this movie.
There's great stuff.
The great ad libs in the movie too.
Yeah.
When Lloyd asks Harry if he wants to hear the most annoying sound in the world, not in the script. And then in the bar in Aspen, when Lloyd is leaving and he looks at the framed newspaper headline and says,
Oh,
"No
yeah.
way! That's great! We landed on the moon!" Totally ad
Totally
libbed.
off.
So funny.
It's good. Mock,
Yeah.
ing,
Yeah.
bird.
Yeah.
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 At this point, they're driving with the mafia
with
dude.
Mental. Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah.
And Mental's like, getting tired of the two of them back and forth.
Guys! Can we just put on the radio or something?
Radio?
We don't need a radio.
And then
Ready,
they start
Harry?
singing, right? And then I love later on when they pick up a little Hispanic family and they're in the back with a guitar and they're singing bird. Yeah.
See. Rock.
See.
Mike Starr is the character actor that plays Mental. He's been in a lot of things. He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
He's so
I
good.
remember all over the 80s and 90s, he was
So good.
always a bad guy. And he was
So
always
good.
a
He just has the
knockoff
look,
mafia.
he's perfect.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah.
That rough up.
I love when he punches the guy through the phone booth.
Oh, yeah.
That-
Like
yeah.
the guy's knocking it. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's time to give up the telephone.
Yeah. I'm trying to make a phone call, and then he just punches him right through the thing. It's so funny.
I loved Lloyd's toenails
Oh, my God.
when they were when they're going through their whole thing.
Pretty Woman.
Now, he was looking
Pretty
pretty
Woman
good.
montage.
Yeah. Well, the couple of the tuxes he came out in, they were nice tuxes, nice black or white.
But that wouldn't make sense.
That wouldn't make sense.
The two tuxes they end up in, that's great.
They're awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I love the little dance he does when he comes out in the orange tuxedo, and Jeff Daniels like, "Yeah, that's the one." Yeah, he does a little tap dance. It's so
and you
funny.
see the guy, the tailor off to the side is just like, oh, what the hell? How could we even have carried that thing? And then
Yeah.
Jeff, of course, gets the powder blue one.
Right.
And it's awesome. They got the top hats, and when they show up to the big soiree thing to save the snowbirds, and then Lloyd's like, all right, well, now we have to act respectable. And Harry's like, all right, no problem, Lloyd. I can show some class. We can be classy and sophisticated. Oh, check out the fun bags on that hose hound. And I think at that point, Max was standing behind me, and he was just like, Dad, what are you watching? And then he walked away.
What the hell is wrong with your kids?
I don't know.
Your kids should love this stuff.
Maybe they do, but they
They're
just
like the
don't
perfect
wanna
age
do
to
it.
appreciate this kind of stuff.
You know, they
They
dare I say,
take after Kathy.
they
I
like
guess, in
more
terms of-
sophisticated. Like they love Mel Brooks. They
can-
love Monty Python.
You can like both. And by the way, I'm sorry, it sounded like you just called Mel Brooks sophisticated.
Yes, he is sophisticated.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's as sophomoric as this.
Right.
But he's definitely
Right,
wacky.
but he is wacky. But just like Monty Python, they have there's an intellectual
Sure.
tilt to it.
But why
And
do you
that's what-
have to like one or the other? I mean,
don't
I
know.
like everything that's
I
funny.
don't know. You're preaching to the choir, bro.
Okay. All right.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
just saying.
I tried to get him to watch it. I tied him down. I put the little things in his eyes like Clockwork Orange, and he didn't like that.
It's one thing for him to say he doesn't like it, but another thing for him to go, "Oh, what are you watching, Dad?" Like he's judging you and shit.
Yes. Yeah. That's all right. What do I care?
All right, so let's talk about some of our favorite lines in this movie. "Excuse me, little old lady, do you have change for $1? Change? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Well, can you do me a favor and watch my stuff while I go break $1?
Sure.
Hey, I guess they're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. I'll be right back. Don't you go dying on me.
According to the map, we've only gone 4 inches.
I got robbed by a sweet old lady on a motorized cart. I didn't even see it coming. Gets worse, my parakeet Petey. Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. What happened? His head fell off. His head fell off? Yeah, he was pretty old.
And we're talking a little bit about the heart and some of the sweet things, like Lloyd said early on about wanting to go out. He's tired of being alone.
Right.
I thought another very sweet thing when he's talking to Harry, and he said, look, the first time I set eyes on Mary Swanson, I just got that old-fashioned romantic feeling where I'd do anything to bone her. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, it should be on a Hallmark card. I can't believe we drove around all day and there's not a single job in this town. There's nothing, not a zip. Yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week.
I like when they're talking about their, girlfriends and women in general. Harry's talking about an old girlfriend. He said, yeah, I called her up. She gave me a bunch of crap about not listening to her or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
I like when he's rehearsing what he wants to say to Mary.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
He's talking about, listen to me, I feel like a schoolboy again. A schoolboy who desperately wants to make sweet, sweet love to you. And then when he's in front of her, I desperately want to make love to a schoolboy.
She's, huh?
And the whole scene where they're in the restaurant, like when he's daydreaming, when he's driving.
Oh,
and
yes.
And then he's like, the whole karate stuff.
Oh, that was great.
Oh,
that was great.
So funny.
And the whole doggy bag thing, like he rips out the chef's heart and he puts in a doggy bag for him. At the end of that scene, the way he kissed her.
Oh, my God.
He opens his mouth and swallows half her face.
Absolutely. It's great.
How the heck did she handle that?
Oh, I mean, she's a pro.
She's a pro.
She knows how funny that's going to look on screen. So she goes for it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's some kiss.
You're really
that whole montage of stuff is really funny when they're around. He's telling the jokes and then he lights his fart on fire.
He lights his fart on fire.
That's great.
Yeah.
Why are you going to the airport? Flying somewhere? How'd you guess? I saw your luggage. Then when I noticed the airline ticket, I put two and two together.
We could go on with all these.
Oh, my God.
That's as good as money, sir. That's IOUs.
I love when he
$275,000 for a car. You might want to keep that.
You want to keep that one. I love when he's running to the jetway, and he's like, "Sir, you can't go in there. It's okay. I'm a limo driver." And then he falls off, and then when he gets home, Harry asks him about his day.
Lloyd,
he goes, I fell off the jetway again. I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this. I was thinking the same thing. That John Denver's full of shit, man. Pull over.
It's a cardigan.
But thanks for noticing. So I think the tagline for this movie when it was released in the trailer was something like, Dumb and Dumber. Every day for these two is a no-brainer.
Yeah, right. Very brilliant. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I think we've talked Dumb and Dumber to death now. Eric, as always, thank you for coming in and geeking out with me about a great movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Dumb and Dumber, still great after more than 20 years. It stands the test of time. And that was one of the things that, after we were done watching it, Sue said, and it makes perfect sense, that it's not dated at all because there's nothing in the movie that says 1994, really.
Right.
It really holds up very well. Thanks to you for listening. We appreciate it. And please remember to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/ScreenFacts. Let us know if you have a favorite scene we didn't talk about. If you have any other comments, you can leave them on the Facebook page, as well as email us, screenfacts@yahoo.com. Please follow me on Twitter @JasonDavisVoice. And if you're listening with iTunes, please leave a review. Show theme music by Audionautics.com. Thanks to our announcer, Kim McKay from Kim'sVoice.com.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Jason!
Screen Facts with Jason Davis is a production of Jason Davis VoiceOver. Visit JasonDavisVoice.com if you need a voice for a commercial, narration, promo, internet video, e-learning or training program, and more. Click on the podcast page to get information about where you can download and listen to past episodes. Listen again next Wednesday for a new episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis.